And so then I turned around and I like saw like made eye contact with Danny Trejo, and I was like, that's Machete. And then like he saw me, and I just kind of like waved at him because I didn't know what else to do. And you're face to face with Machete, and I saw him like get up and like run away, and I was like, I guess he's really scared of mimes, not into this at all. And then all of a sudden, before I knew it, I had like an arm sling around me, and like this small man is staring up at me, and it's Danny Trejo, and he's just like stars in his eyes, like Mickey Mouse style. Like it was like a little kid meeting Mickey Mouse, and he's like, I love mimes.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jen.
And I'm Courtney.
And this is another very, very, very special one up episode.
I thought you were gonna say episode of, and then.
Oh,
but
my bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
I messed
This
that
is
up,
one
guys.
up, guys.
This is one
You should know by now.
You should know by now. Today we are changing things up a little bit. So we have our format, as you all know, is we do an interview, we play a game, and then we hang out. Today, though, for our gaming portion, we're gonna go live, so you'll see that in the final edit.
Yes.
And also, as you can tell, we have a couch full of amazing people
Who have all willingly agreed to be here.
Yes. I offered them cheese and crackers, and they were like, sure. All right, well, so today the special episode is because this is the Blade and Soul Heroes family from NC America. We are so excited. If you guys don't know, Courtney is Yusol. Yusol?
Yusol.
Yusol. Okay, sorry.
Yes,
The
she
Korean
says
in me.
it the right way. If you play the localized version, we say Yusol.
Yusol?
Yes, our main protagonist girl who just wants to help her clan out.
Yes.
She's got to solve some mysteries, go on some quests, and make some money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I voice Baymu, and then Uwon is Jenny Yokobori.
That's me.
And then we also have joining us Evan Hill, who is a producer of the game, and Brett Jaxel, who was the localization writer and director. So we work directly with Brett.
Yes.
Brett has some fun facts, right?
Brett has some fun facts. So if y'all didn't know, we're going to just start off with little quick intros, and then you guys can feel free to expand.
Yes.
So Brett has been working in film for more than 10 years. He's a graduate of USC. He did work at Millennium Films, which is great because I want you to know I also worked at Millennium Films. So I did not know this till I read his questionnaire. So we both came from Millennium Films. And Brett obviously is an amazing localizer and director. And I have a cheat sheet here.
Did we miss anything else?
I think I hit all my favorite points. Everyone, one more round of applause for Brett Jaxel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. So next to him we have Evan Hill.
What?
Evan, yes, what? Evan, so I love this because Evan used to design escape rooms for a living.
That is true.
Which
He loves
I want you to know,
puzzles.
I'm obsessed with escape rooms. I've done more than 50 now.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, before COVID, we actually had an escape room, like right
down
next
the
door
road?
that we built
Oh,
and
what?
designed. And my brother-in-law, my family, my husband, like designed it. We worked with a company and we put the puzzles. I was like this is your mission. You have to do this. Yes, we did. We literally next door we had our
That's
own escape
amazing.
room, and then COVID killed it. That's okay, COVID. It's okay, COVID. Whatever. So yes, that was really exciting to see. Apparently, he's also learning to play the piano,
that's true.
and he's gonna eventually have a block party. It sounds like. With
Yeah. We'll see.
A little, like Elton John, Benson Boone style. Are you gonna be flipping off the piano? That's all I need to know.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And you got into, I don't even know what this is, to be honest. So during COVID, you got into Mario 64 speed running.
I couldn't
nice.
remember what all I put on these facts.
What really
So-
quick, I don't even know what that is.
It's so during COVID, like I had 3 other friends that we were like, okay, we'll see each other, and like that's what we're gonna do, just like
Yes.
us.
Okay.
And one night we were just having drinks, And do you know what like a CRT TV is? Like those old like
Yes.
the tube TVs
Yeah.
that weigh like 100 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I drug it up to like my apartment because if you play it on like a flat screen, there's like a latency to it.
Okay.
And when you're doing like these
Oh.
speed runs of video games, you like need it to be
You
frame
need it
perfect.
to be, yeah.
And so we had like done some like joking around, like playing it, but like never taking it seriously. And we still don't take it seriously. But sometimes we have like a few too many drinks. It's like, well, it can be segmented into like certain like sections. So there's 12 different sections. So you take a D12 like dice and you roll for like which, and then you do like a relay of like, all right, you do this, and I'd pass it to like Brett and whatever. So that was a random thing that we started in COVID. That was just like a drinking game that sometimes we do.
Amazing. I love it. Well, I just learned something new because I was like, I don't even know what this is. I had no idea, guys.
Yeah, I didn't know you could speedrun it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. And then, of course, we have Jenny Yokobori.
And then our first other Jen.
Yes,
Jennifer.
our first other
So many
Jen.
Jennifers.
Jenny was started off as a blue collar worker.
I did.
What does that mean? What did you
She
do?
worked at.
So when I first moved to LA, I was like fresh out of college. I ended up leaving, and I had no degree, so I had to just kind of like jump into the workforce. And so my first ever job in LA was actually a weird one. I was a pyrotechnician at Universal Studios. What? Yeah.
Weird, but
A
awesome.
job you would give someone fresh out of college.
Huh?
Was it Waterworld?
It was Waterworld.
So that is my, for you guys
Coolest
who's
guest you've ever had. Yeah, no, that's so cool.
Yes.
So that's my brother-in-law Patrick Loda, and we have Hunter Peterson joining us. Hunter. The very first time because we moved, my family moved here first, and then my sister and them moved here, and we took him to Universal, and went to Waterworld, and Patrick was just like, he was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
It is.
And so
That was my
you
job.
just literally. You have become
Casual.
he is your number one fan now.
Very
That
casual.
me too.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, I was the one like on the metal structure. I was like 18 years old, like loading and unloading the pyro.
They let an
I, like,
18-year-old have this job.
when they,
So now we know how Universal goes.
it was it's really safe. We do a yearly course. But I learned everything. It was like I learned how to like put out a fire. That like we had to make sure like that you knew that. Like we would do a regular like test with fire extinguishers, being like, okay, you can still do it, right? And
Wait,
we're
so
like,
did
yes.
are you like a natural pyro?
No, I was
okay.
a very, very anxious child. That was part of the reason why I was like really excited.
So this is like, when your interview were like, do you love fire? Were you like, yes?
I was like, okay, so this is literally how it went. I was like 18 years old, and I just needed a job. I applied to like Jamba Juice, Barnes and Noble, and like no bites.
Yeah.
And then I got to Universal Studios, and they like brought me in for a general interview, and they were like, okay, so we have 2 positions available. We have stage crew, and we have parking attendant. And I was like, stage crew sounds great.
Yeah.
And like I had done theater a lot, and so I was like used to working the stage and everything. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this, no worries. And they were like, how do you feel about explosives? And I was like, I've never really worked with explosives, like not even like fireworks on 4th of July. I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, are you willing to learn? I'm like, I love having money to pay for groceries. And I'm like, I guess so.
They're like, our other guy got exploded yesterday, so we're looking for a new person.
Missing some fingers, so do you have 5 on each hand?
Exactly.
Right,
So
fingers.
I started working with explosives at 18, and I worked
Oh my
Waterworld, and then from there I started working like pyro at like the Hollywood Bowl for a while too. I've done fireworks for like the Muppets and Bruno Mars, and I did pyro for Black Sabbath. Which is, like I was like a little
awesome.
like teeny bopper 18-year-old.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath.
For Black Sabbath, I was
it.
like backstage, and like Ozzy Osbourne was like a few feet away from me. I was like watching him do like meet and greets and everything.
More drop is this.
Like if you guys can't see their faces, they're just like stars in their
and
eyes.
also think about while you were running these explosions across the nation, Jenny was also a former professional mime.
Yeah, I did that at the
So-
same time too.
So you have a dichotomy here of very loud and very quiet. And that is balance.
So with when I was a mime, it was a one night only kind of thing. It's a crazy story because it was at a UFC fight of all places. I was on.
Hold on.
What is your life?
Yes.
Thank you, Brad. I need a minute. I'm like,
Yes.
my mind is like blown.
Yes.
I think I literally just had a meltdown, guys.
It was like the weirdest gig. I was like 18, 19, and I was on Facebook, and there was a girl that I worked with at Universal who was an actress, and she just posted like, I need mimes for like tonight.
And
they're
Jenny was like, I need money. I'm
yeah,
available.
exactly. And I was like, it was like $150 for the night. I'm like, I love money. I really love being able to afford like
to feed myself.
Like, yeah, like I love top ramen. Like buying a vegetable or two is a passion of mine.
At one bok choy
Yeah,
would be great.
exactly. And so I was like, yeah, I'm available, sure, because I had had been training and acting for my entire life. I'm like, I think I can handle miming because
Yeah.
I've done like a mime course.
You
and,
did
like,
a mime course?
I went to a performing arts high school, and so we
Okay,
did
okay.
tiny things and like
Yeah.
movement and things like that. And I was
Yeah.
a dancer for 6 years, so I was like,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
sure.
Okay, so
And
Jenny's literally done everything.
It's been a wild ride so far, gang. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple of years. And so then I got there, and they were like, yeah, it's for an event tonight. And I assumed like it was just gonna be like some weird Hollywood party, like I would be like at some rooftop bar or something,
No.
just miming. And
What
they were
was
like,
it?
yeah, great. And so they bring us in, and it was like, theater in Hollywood. And I'm like, why are we walking into a theater right now? Why are there men in tiny shorts? Why is Mario Lopez here? And they were like, okay, yes. And they like brought us upstairs to like our green room area, and it was literally like with all of the fighters. And so there were these guys like who were either like drinking like a lot of water or like sweating as much as they could and like
To
jogging
get
in
their weight,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, and like there
They
was
have trash bags on
so
them?
many sweaty there were like
Sweaty
so
men.
many sweaty men, and I was like, what are we doing? And the guy who was like in charge of this fight just like gave us like these giant prop boxing gloves, and he's like, so you guys are gonna like entertain the crowd in between rounds. And I was like, why?
Oh.
That was what so you
The ultimate improv show.
so you probably went in thinking like it's gonna be a little bit of
I'm like, you know, they're your classic
I thought I
mime.
was just gonna do like crowd work and everything, and like I was right, I was doing crowd work, but it was with like a bunch of USC fans, and like they gave us these giant boxing gloves, and I'm like, do we have to wear the gloves because I need my hands to mime?
Mime.
And he's like, oh, you can take those off if you want. You just do whatever. And like, mind you, my face was fully painted at this point.
Was anybody else fully paid?
Yeah,
Everybody.
it was me and these two other people who I never saw again. If you held me at gunpoint, I couldn't tell you their names. But like I did, like we also like did our makeup in this, like at this. I did my makeup in the stranger's car, and we were just like putting
Oh
my
my
makeup,
gosh.
and like they let us just have like free reign, and they were like they told the security like the mimes can go where they want, and so like there was no
The mime card.
I know.
Like, I'm one of the mimes.
Thank you.
and it was like so alarming because like I would just kind of like find myself in different parts of the audience, and I would like turn around and Mario Lopez was there, and he was like trying to mime with me, and I'm like, I don't know you like that, man.
You didn't go to mime course. You
didn't
didn't
go
go
to
to
mime
mime
school.
course school with
And
me.
like, I met Danny Trejo that night as a mime, and he's like really into mimes. Danny Trejo is a delightful
into
man.
mimes?
He
Mimes
was
and tacos.
really into mimes.
Did he try to mime with you?
This is what happened because I was just miming around the crowd because I was just like, I guess this is what we're doing tonight, and I ended up in the VIP section on accident. I didn't know, like I just like started walking
you
around.
had the mimes
The mimes.
belong in the
It's a
VIP
mime card,
section.
yeah. And so then I turned around and I like saw like made eye contact with Danny Trejo, and I was like, that's machete. And then like he saw me, and I just kind of like waved at him because I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And you're face to face with machete, and I saw him like get up and like run away, and I was like, I guess he's really scared of mimes, not into this at all. And then all of a sudden, before I knew it, I had like an arm sling around me, and like this small man is staring up at me, and it's Danny Trejo, and he's just like stars in his eyes, like Mickey Mouse style. Like it was like a little kid meeting Mickey Mouse, and he's like, I love mimes. And there is like one of Danny's
Donuts and tacos.
Yeah. And there's like a member of Danny's team like standing very stoically. It was like a bodyguard or something, like holding his phone. He's like, will you take a picture with me?
So
And
Danny Trejo asked you for a picture.
And I was like,
Just to, yeah.
yeah, we can take a picture, Danny Trejo, but like, you know,
But in
I'm
mime
like,
speak.
yeah, exactly. So so to translate for those of you at home, I'm like,
And that is
so-
how you speak mime.
Yeah. And so we took a picture and everything. And then later during that evening, I saw Danny like taking a photo with a fan. And like mimes are very similar to clowns, where they just kind of like, the thing is just to go for the bit. And so I
Yeah.
decided to like photobomb this photo.
Yes.
But Danny spotted me and I was like, I'm in trouble. And then he saw me and his face lit up like and he said out loud, oh, it's my mime friend. And I felt really bad because he pushed the fan out of the way. He pushed the fan and but to make room for him, he's like, you have to take a picture with us. And the fan was like, hello. And so there's someone
And that fan out there is like, that
That fan's going. That fan goes to therapy every month to talk about that one time they got shoved out of a picture for a
There's
mime.
a photo somewhere of this with this
my
man
God.
and Danny Trejo and me as a mime and
it's my mission to find that picture.
and
know.
my nervous face just being like.
We're gonna find that picture.
And then we were going back up the stairs and we were walking and Danny's like, you're going the same way as me, and I'm like, I am, yeah. And all of a sudden he's this and he was just sort of he's like, can I use you for balance? And so he linked arms with me and I escorted Danny Trejo up the stairs.
Have you been to his restaurants?
Icon.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very
Okay,
good.
okay.
But yeah.
Okay, well, besides the deep lore that we just dived into,
We were all, mind blown.
Jenny's an amazing voice actor.
She brings the
She also
fire
does
and the
that.
mime in the booth.
Yes, that is, and also, I have to say, and Jenny's heard me say this before, I don't know anyone with more range than Jenny Yokobori.
Oh my
truly,
gosh,
she is a
truly.
chameleon. The things that have come out of her mouth.
So quick
Does
story.
that belong there?
It's so crazy quick story. So there was one time I auditioned for this part on Monster High, the animated series, who Dracula.
Yes.
And I didn't book it. And I was like, I wonder who booked it. So she was over it. Courtney was literally over it. And
It was at her house.
We looked it up and we were like, oh, it was Jenny. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I always want to learn from other people who have booked it to see what did they do and how that's
Yes.
that's what we do. And we turned it on, and it's it was like a dragon or what?
Dinosaur?
She's a kaiju.
A kaiju. Okay, you guys hear her voice. Have you been able to do? Can you do your high pitch? I know she's got little.
She's also Kuromi on Hello Kitty
I
and
was gonna
Friends.
say, she's got your voice is also. Could you do a quick high pitch thing real quick?
I can do it right here.
See, you hear this, right? And then all of a sudden, I can't. Can you do it?
Yeah, my low range is no issue right now.
Do the kaiju.
I guess I was like,
It was like you were
yeah.
like, yeah, take this or whatever.
Here, I'm gonna move away from
Yes,
the mic. Okay. Yeah, it's like Basketball is life and afterlife.
I mean, literally, we screamed. We were like, "That's Jenny!"
We were just like, what just happened? My mind was blown. I was like, yeah, of course she booked it. She deserved that because I can't do that.
I remember when the audition came through, it was for a kaiju, and I was like, big green lady.
yeah,
And I was like,
lady, yeah.
okay, and we didn't have any art or anything,
No.
and so I didn't know if they were gonna go cutesy kaiju because it was Monster High or
Right.
big kaiju. So I decided to play it safe and do a take of both. So I was
Yeah.
did a teen girl voice, sort of similar to mine.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go. Big kaiju basketball is lifetime voice, make myself as big as possible and make me kind of give a growl to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
Icon.
was perfection. You literally screamed. I didn't even know you at the time. I knew of you, but we hadn't met yet. So I was just like, oh.
And now I look
So
just like
good.
that character.
If I could add just a little bit to the
I know
Jenny
we've been
Yokobori
talking so much. But
So the first time I worked with Jenny, so we had an update for Blade and Soul, which is the first game in the franchise that Blade and Soul Heroes is part of. We had some returning characters, so I had all this collection of characters that I needed to cast, and so I think I ended up. So I had heard Jenny's reel, and like you said, very versatile.
Yes.
So I ended up having. I cast Jenny as this little boy, this little Yeti creature that the little boy finds, and the little boy's grandmother. And I was like, I was looking at the cat. I was like, this is so unfair. What am I doing to this poor actress? And I think I had to direct it remotely, which I prefer not to do. But she just came in and just killed it. He just
course
did
she
everything.
did.
Of course she
and
did.
had very
This is
distinct
Jenny
voices for all
Yokobori.
the characters. And there were even moments which I always try to avoid where she was like talking to herself, which is always a big like no. Like if I can avoid that, I will absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But she was fantastic. I was like, okay, I'm working with her.
Yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
we are so glad you did.
Yeah.
Me
And
too.
we're so glad that you brought Courtney and myself in too. Yeah. So guys, okay. So let's talk Blade and Soul.
Let's talk Blade and Soul heroes.
I mean, that was amazing though. Like,
Yes.
I feel like my mind has just been like blown and opened. It's
Yes,
crazy.
by the pyrotechnician.
Yes, the pyrotechnician mime. But yes, let's talk Blade and Soul. So Blade and Soul is a mobile game that is based out of Korea. Yes. So I have to ask, how's your Korean now? Because you work with a Korean client.
0. I know that.
I'm there. We're gonna have to work on some Korean. Like I'm gonna teach you a couple Korean
Yeah?
words,
Yeah,
and then next
okay.
time you guys have like a little like.
Kamsahamnida.
Oh, tell
Yeah,
me.
Yeah,
you're
I-
probably you've been in it for a little longer than me. So.
I recognize some things like male, female. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna teach you a couple of things. Maybe we'll figure
That
something.
would be great.
I know some
Lamyeon.
Korean.
Lamyeon.
No, the
Yeah.
rest of the localization team all knows at least some Korean, so they're always like typing things into chat. I'm like, guys, I'm right here. Like, I don't know.
Half of it's just like Brett doesn't know what
He's
this
got
means.
Translate on the side. He's just copying, pasting.
Constantly have to do that.
Oh my gosh. So how is that working? Like, because a lot of people may not even know what localization means. I know when I first got into voice acting, I was like, somebody's like, yeah, this is localization. I was like, what does that even mean? So tell us what that means.
Yeah, so localization is translation / culturalization of a product, of a story, of content. So the games that we work on are developed in Korea in Korean. So what our localization team does is anything that's text or voice in our games goes through our team. So there's a translation portion. Like I said, most of the rest of the people in the team know Korean, so we either do that. We do a lot of that in-house. Sometimes we use like vendors and that sort of thing to do a base translation, and then there's a final edit where we try to make things sound natural.
Like, so that would be the adaptation, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So like as an example, so say there's a line of dialogue that like very basically translates to something like. You can't come through this way. So the good news as a writer is like I'm not a narrative designer. I don't get to rewrite the story, but I get to focus on the nuance of language, and like it's a little different for someone to say y'all can't come through here than you cannot get through. Or you change it up. You think of the character, the context, who they're speaking to, what their attitude is towards that person.
Yeah. Do they have like maybe mannerisms or something?
Exactly. So maybe I rewrite the line to "You shall not pass," and then of course I hire Ian McKellen and at that moment, So as a writer, it's a great exercise to like understand the nuance of language and how that affects character and that sort of thing. And then of course the next most important step is if it's voice dialogue is hiring the right person to really bring that character to life.
Yeah. What about the flaps?
Do you have to worry about that as much? So for like anime or live action dubbing, for sync at least, you want to make sure you do your best to make you get the direct translation, you adapt it to make it sound like human talk, basically.
Culturally, human, character,
everything.
all that.
But then you also have to adapt it to match what we call the lip flaps, so that it sounds like it's actually coming out of the
so the sentence
actor's
doesn't
mouth.
end, but the character's still going.
Right.
Like you will die today.
Yeah.
Old school Godzilla dubs.
Yeah, which those are actually, I love those.
Oh,
They're
me too.
iconic.
Iconic. Yes. So for video games, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. How does it work for
Right,
Blade
yeah.
and Soul?
So in some cases, if the character's speaking, they will reanimate. But for cutscenes specifically, we usually have to match the lip
You do
flap.
match it,
so,
yeah.
So the first step is trying to write it in a way that you will be close in terms of timing,
Mm-hmm.
trying to match the consonants and kind of the rhythm of the speech, and then working in the booth with the voice actor to try to get that timing right, to get it as close as possible, so that when the character's lip is moving, there's sound coming out during that time,
Yeah.
not during the pauses and that sort of thing. So
Now, because you went to film school, they don't really. Did they teach you that in film school? No.
They didn't teach me.
So like, how did you like get into? Like, how did you become part of NC America? Like,
So I had a friend, and he and his wife lived in Seattle, which is where NC West was originally sort of headquartered. They came down to LA to do a grad school program at USC. And then he ended up getting an offer to work with the company again. Sorry.
okay.
And so
I won't tell our engineer.
yeah. So he ended up working there and needed some contract localization writers, and I was like, I'm terrible at video games. Why would you want me to do this? But gave me a chance on another game called Ion. There was an update that needed some right. So that was my first step in the door in terms of that, in terms of learning about the localization process and the rewrite process for video games, and then eventually, got moved on to the first Blade and Soul game. There was another writer who had already done some kind of podcast stuff, so he kind of was more involved with the voiceover stuff, and then eventually he kind of mentored me. And then I was really fortunate. I got to learn from people like Carrie Karanen, who's amazing.
Oh, yes, we love Carrie.
Yeah, who introduced me to, I think, both of you.
Yeah,
so got to see the way
did.
the way that she directs and that sort of thing. So yeah, I've been very, very blessed. Got to work with amazing people and learn a ton along the way, and I'm still learning.
Yeah, and do you feel, because I know, like, when we asked the pre-questions, the questionnaire, like you were saying, like you found out very early on that, like, getting into like working in film and television, it's not as creative. Do you find that this is so much more creative for you in writing and directing?
Yeah, this offers a lot of creativity. I mean, again, like I said, I'm not a narrative designer. I'm not designing like the actual.
Is that ever a goal for you?
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe take a break to do some Pyrotechnics for Black Sabbath.
We gotta live a full life, guys. We gotta live a full life.
Yes.
But yeah, in terms of learning how to write and rewrite, how to edit, how to be concise, how to differentiate characters based on how you write their dialogue. That's a continuing and very important exercise. Learning how to take feedback, learning how to give feedback, learning how to work under deadline. But yeah, but yeah, to your point, when I graduated from college, I was, I got to work for film companies, but it was mostly not creative work because so much of the entertainment industry is the admin, it's the project management, it's the marketing, it's the distribution that goes along with that.
But now you found your way into games, and now you're writing and directing, and you're a fabulous director. I'm sure I speak for all three of us that we love working with you.
Directing is such a great gig, because at that point, hopefully, you've done the best you can do in terms of establishing who this character is, getting all the information you can, and then at that point, I'm just chilling in a room, like trying to, because once the script is written and you've set up your session, you're handing the map and the keys to the voice actor, and they're really the one that's bringing this character to life. So at that point, I'm straight up chilling, making dad jokes, while you all are like putting in the work, and it is work. I really feel like it would, from the outside looking in, it would be easy to assume that voice acting is somehow easier because you're just doing the voice. I would argue, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I feel like it's almost the opposite, because you're taking away, most of the time you don't have a scene partner to bounce off of. All you have is your voice and a microphone. You don't get to use costume or setting or your physicality in the same way you would in front of camera. And so you just have, your microphone, your voice, some joker like me in the next room, saying things that may or may not be helpful, and you have to bring the character to life. Do it again, but better.
I mean, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like, because you did theater.
I did theater.
So, like, getting into voice acting, what was that transition like for you? And like, like what Brett's saying, like, you are talking to you. We sound like
we talk to ourselves a lot.
We're kind of crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I would agree 100%. I mean, it is such a change, because I mean, I feel like anyone who's ever done theater or even like on camera acting can always note that there's a switch that happens when you put your costume on for the first time. Like first dress in theater is such a transformative thing, where like I feel like a lot of people always kind of say that they feel like everything just kind of like fall into place, or like feel the character kind of come into their own a little bit more.
It's that you've done all the work, you've done all the rehearsals, and then you just put, it's just that final like little just
that tap in.
Exactly. It's like the final stitch that really makes everything come together. And so we don't have that. We don't get the costume.
I don't know about you, but I show up in a lot of sweats.
Yeah.
It's always cold in the studio.
I do too. Yeah, it's like a sweatshirt, like my jeans. It's usually like
I'm always in leggings.
Yeah.
You're silent.
I do like a t-shirt that I've had for like a few years just because it's like it's quiet clothing.
Yes.
Like it's a weird thing where it's like
People often don't recognize me in public because I dress like such a rat at my
too.
sessions.
Same.
And then on the weekends, they're like, Courtney, is that you? You look like a person
Can
today.
confirm.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm the same exact way where like I will take any excuse to dress up just because I'm just sort of like I feel like a girl. I'm a real girl. Instead of just like a ratty t-shirt and like my baggy jeans being like I'm here to voice your anime. But yeah, it's like so it's all internal, and so you really have to just like. As an actor, you just have to make a choice and really, really commit to it.
Yes.
Like with the Monster High audition, where I'm sort of like, okay, I'm a green lizard lady. Like, how can what costume can I put on like internally to make everything kind of fall into place? Like, what choice? It's like you get that a lot with like fantasy characters, especially. Like those are the ones that I love. Like I think that those are a lot to like chew on as far as material. Where you get like an orc, and you're like, okay, well, so this is what I know about orcs. Like they're big, they're a little bit more like intimidating.
They got this jaw.
Exactly. They usually have like an underbite to them, like, and so like given their like chest cavity, it's gonna have a little bit more like resonance, and so you can like add that into it, and like since they're
Maybe
bigger,
a little extra spit.
exactly, a little bit spit. Like, what are their mannerisms? Like, they're not gonna be like super polite. Like it says like RP, but like let's like dirty it up a little bit. Let's like make sure that like they put their elbows on the table. Like, what can you add to a character?
Yes, the physicality. You're talking about
Or,
adding
like,
the physicality of it all. Yes.
Add the physicality, and then like Andrea Toyas like says like imagine like what they're wearing, where it's like make sure that they're not wearing sweats when you do a read for them. Like make sure that they're wearing like you may be wearing sweats, but the character's wearing like like a torn
And
up
how does that make you
armor.
stand and like
Exactly.
you know, are you going to be
Armor.
like this, or are you going to have your chest out? Because that
Pull your shoulders back with that armor.
Or are you injured and you know have a battle wound, and so you naturally have you know like what does that look like?
And so like that's where like we do our like fight like our first dress, where we're like that's in us in the audition booth, and we're just sort of like, okay, what costume can we put on our voice to like sort of add things and really make this character come to life? And it's a lot harder.
It is.
Without the physical sensation.
And I will say that, like, coming from film and TV and theater, and I'm sure both of you feel the same way, when we get into the booth and we're like, you start up with the one character, you don't know necessarily, you're not always giving your lines ahead of time. So you literally have to be so present, so in the moment, and so just fully committed and just go for it. And you have to be able to give multiple takes while taking direction. I mean, I guess you're right. I agree. I mean, like, voice acting, see, I do it too. Voice acting to me has made me a better actor in general, because I just have to be so present. I don't have time to think about it.
You can't rely on anything.
No.
But yourself.
That's
really,
it.
And your what's going on in here.
Yes.
And if you're lucky, you have a director there to help pour. But like audition scenarios, it's all in here.
Yes.
In your
It's
little
all
box
in there.
of foam at home.
Right.
And it's funny because with Uwon specifically, he's such a specific little guy that like usually when I'm with a character for a while, I do end up kind of like picking up some of their like mannerisms that I kind of like assign to them. And so with Uwon, I always sit in the booth because my feet are bad, and so is my lower back because I worked with fireworks for so many years. So my back is bad now because it's a lot of hunched over. And so I always sit. And so with Uwon, I tended to like start kicking my feet like this just because he's a little dude.
Yeah.
And so like my feet would dangle off and I would end up like kicking it. And I always kind of like with a lot of my little boy characters, I do kind of like end up doing like this. Because this is the same thing with Cinnamoroll for Sanrio, where it's like I do kind of like end up doing this and kind of like make him small a little bit more. Yeah. Where it's like once like I'm like Jenny, and then as soon as I have to go to Uwon, it's like I have to like just kind of like
you
lock
change
in. I lock
you
in.
change completely.
Yes.
Like fully, you embody the character.
Yes.
So then Evan, I know poor Evan's just
No,
like,
this is honestly
know.
fascinating because what happens is I'll be like, back at NCA, Brett leaves for like a month, and I just don't see Brett, and now I'm finally getting to see like fully what Brett's been like doing. Like
Dad goes out for
hearing
milk. He comes back.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he went out for a pack of smokes.
Yeah.
And just comes back.
That's right.
But,
So now you show up when I've done all the work by my own.
So it's nice to see that other people like you. I'm glad to see that. Yeah.
Well,
It's
so
nice to hear.
as a
Yes.
producer for NCAA and Blade and Soul, like, what does that entail exactly? I know that you try to like do like community, like to build up the community, to keep it engaged. But tell us what you do.
Oh man. Okay. So it's.
I think you're one of the first video. I think you're the first video game producer that we've had on the show.
Oh,
so
okay.
please tell us. Yes.
Well, the day to day really is. It changes pretty frequently. Like I definitely get to wear a lot of different hats. I work with Brett some, and it's funny. Like it's very like I used to be on doing QA and testing games, and you would play the game all the time. Even as producer, I played a bunch of Heroes before it ever came out. So it's fun to like play the game and like it's no VO is in it, and when the VO goes in, like especially when I was like doing QA work, like you just like are doing so much repetitive, you're like so over like doing
Yeah.
it, but it just lights
what
everything
is
up.
QA?
whenever-
What does QA stand for?
Quality assurance.
Great,
so that
great,
is
great.
like
Because I
if
always
you're seeing
think
Grandma's
I always
Boy,
say QC,
it's like
quality control.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why.
It's kind of like that,
kinda
but it's
similar.
like, have you ever seen Grandma's Boy? Like where there's like they're just the testers. That's basically was my life for like the first 5 years of the video game industry before I got into production. But-
Wow.
And this is something you get to, like, is this a job anyone can do or a job you get to do because you work, like, with the company?
I mean, I'm sure anyone could get into it.
Yeah.
I didn't like
no,
go
I'm
to
just
school
curious
for
because
this.
we
or
probably
anything.
have people who might
Would
be interested in
of
something like this.
how do I become a QA person
Yeah.
and just get to play
Q-
video
QA
games?
is definitely a good starting point into the gaming industry. It's probably one of the easier, I'd say either that or like customer support or like two of the easier entry routes into the video game industry. How you go about that, I just got lucky. I don't really know.
So how did you get into it?
So I'm from Indiana, and I had some friends that were out here that worked at Blizzard, and they're like, if you want to get into it, you need to move out here. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So, because there are a bunch of studios in LA or
There are
even
so
down
many.
like where we are around Irvine, there's
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
Even in the building we work in, there's 3 different studios
wow.
just in the one building.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like
NC is
moved
the
out.
coolest, though.
But I was here probably. I just like I was in Denver for a while, and that was when I was designing escape rooms. So I thought out here, I was like, okay, I'll just like start out like doing escape room stuff, and then whenever I can find an opening.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I landed like a QA gig pretty like within
The
a
fates
month.
aligned.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
even with-
the universe was like, here.
Yeah.
Like I've worked at a couple different studios, but before so the first place was through Sega.
Okay.
And the guy that hired me at Sega now also kind of hired me at NCAA because we both.
So you built a good relationship.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a pretty small, tight knit community.
Yes.
Like
It's
there's
something Jen
you
and I
really
talk
see-
about a
All
lot.
Yeah.
the time. And
You
you've
see the
watched our
same people.
episodes. We've talked about how, like, you never know. I mean, if you watched, go back and watch Nick Lanza's episode.
Yeah.
He talks about how he went because of this person. One person literally just kept supporting him,
Yep.
and now he's
Yeah.
at Riot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you guys are out there and you're meeting people, truly come with your heart and be authentic. Don't go don't be that. People can smell desperation, which
For
I'm
sure.
sure you
Yeah.
guys get. You can probably tell like all the
Yeah.
time.
Definitely done some interesting interviews like
Yes.
for hiring people, so that's for sure. Yeah.
Yes, but I think if you're genuine and you truly connect with the people and you
Yeah.
have a shared passion, eventually you just want to support, whoever it is that you're working with and keep elevating. You go up, you bring the people up with
Yeah,
you,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So remember, it's such a huge theme on our show. Like
Yeah.
it's something that we talk about all the time.
We
that
didn't
like,
mean it to be. It just like comes up so
it just
much.
comes up
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much, and just that everybody's journey is different. You started off in escape rooms.
Yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to be in the video game industry or anything like that, or it just
think
all by chance?
Not as like a kid. I played video games a lot, but I think growing up in Indiana and like the Midwest, it was like taboo. Like my mom was constantly just like, go outside, and I was
Yes,
like
yeah.
stoked when it was raining because it was like, okay, if
like,
it's snow day or
"Sorry,
anything
too
like that.
bad,
Yeah.
Mom."
So it never like really even crossed my mind that was an option until I had
Right,
other
yeah.
people that moved out there and like, no, like this is a
This is
thing
an
you can
option.
come and do. Like if you really want to do it, like you can do it. I was like, are you sure? But
Do you guys hear that? Like, you can work in video games. There's
definitely can.
so many opportunities,
Yeah.
so many ways
It's
you
a
can get
huge
in.
industry now.
I mean, it is. It's a cool industry, and
Yes.
I mean, we know people who started off in engineering and are now voice actors. You
Wow.
know,
Yeah.
Judy
That's-
Ellisley, Josh Sterling is another one. Yeah, and then we have people who were pyro mimes who are voice actors. You know, like I have an electrical engineering degree. She was going to be a doctor, right?
Yeah, psychology,
I mean,
neuroscience.
Yeah, so you know, this right here. I mean, look at all these people, how gorgeous they are, and how like we've all like our life has taken us on so many different like paths, and we have such different journeys. But we are all here creating just the most magnificent game ever. It's really beautiful, guys, and I think we should play it.
I think we should play it, and then we'll definitely we'll be fielding questions from you guys who are going to be watching this.
We'll be fielding questions while you're watching the live, because if you're watching this full episode, this is going to be technically a replay of the live. So. All right, well, let's do it. So we're gonna get set up right now.
I love video games a lot. I'm not good at them.
So what's cool about Heroes is not only are a lot of those characters back, they're also alive, and you can like have them join your team.
Jenny Yokobori,
Nominated for Primetime Emmy.
Yes,
I was not nominated. The episode was nominated.
Listen, we can spin this however we want, okay?
Skydiving's great.
I went skydiving not that long.
Skydiving's
I
great.
went on a first date skydiving a few weeks
so
ago.
cool. That was a first date?
The first date.
wow.
Where do you go
Did you
from
fall in
there?
love?
I know. I told her I
From
was
the
like, we're
adrenaline.
going. Like first date was skydiving, and like we
So you
went
really
to, like,
wanted her to fall for you? Yes.
Literally.
Second date was just coffee though.
Okay. I can mime.
Mime, Jenny, mime!
My time has finally come.
I get really addicted though. Like I don't know how you guys are, but like once I start something, I'll just be like,
Same. I'm either playing nothing or I'm playing it all
all
the
the
time.
time.
Yeah, but I can still remember the elementary school conversations where like, hey, do you know Samus is actually like a woman? What? No, shut up, dude.
No, I
it's
didn't
like-
know Samus was a woman for the longest time.
Yeah.
Really can. Wendy's is good too. I like their chili, even though I know it's made over like leftover beef. I love it.
I like their dollar chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Love
I love raclette. 'Cause it is just
Oh my gosh, cheese.
so good. I'm a big
Yes.
cheese girl.
I am also a sucker for Hawaiian pancakes, like,
Yeah.
like banana macadamia nut with coconut syrup or something like that.
I think we're getting hungry.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, as you know, our podcast is called One Up. One Up. One Up. And traditionally, the gamers know a one up in games usually means you get an extra life. So the question we like to pose to all of our guests is, if the universe gave you a one up, all right, what would you do with it? This can be very broad. This could be if you're going to redo something, you're going to use it to redo something in the past. If you could not have the life you have currently, like in an alternate universe where you weren't an actor, producer, or director,
Multiverse.
localizer,
Think about that.
what else would you be doing with your life? What would your doppelganger, your us persona in the sewers, what would they be doing?
I just like looked over at Jenny. Jenny was like, what is it? It was just a contemplation. It was very
or something maybe you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's very broad.
Yeah.
Yes. Whoever would like to go first.
Wow, that's crazy that you both immediately looked at me. Immediately. Damn, you sold me out. Okay. It's always the people you least expect.
I know. They seem so sweet. And then
They seem so sweet.
I honestly looked at Brett because I think I was like, oh, he's got it, and then he was. I was like, oh, guess never mind. We're going this way.
I was like, oh.
If I had a one-up, if I had an extra life, I think I would do what I was planning on doing before voice acting kind of took
What
off
was
for
that?
me. I was gonna go back to school and go into themed entertainment and design haunted houses for a living.
I love that.
So fun.
My biggest ambition was that I wanted to work on the creative team at Halloween Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm, and
You would be so good at
design
that.
haunted
So good.
houses.
Sounds like the
haunted
three of you need to
mazes.
make
Yeah.
this happen. For sure.
It's like a really big passion of mine. Halloween is like my favorite time of year, and so like I go to like as many haunted attractions as I can, both like the big ones like Horror Nights.
Do you actually
Not
get scared
Scary.
ever? Or you're
Not
like, I knew that
anymore.
was coming. Yeah.
Not anymore. Because it's pretty rare. I was also in my past life, on top of another weird job that I had was I was a maze supervisor at Horror Nights, and so I was also a chainsaw supervisor. So I did like chainsaw maintenance. So I sat at it. I sat at chainsaw maintenance sounds a lot more exciting than it was. I mostly like sat at a folding table and like the big chainsaw performers would come and like they would bring it to like 19-year-old Jenny and be like, saw's busted, won't start. And I would like stand up and I'm like, no, it's because you're a coward and you won't rip it the right way. And I would like stand up and I would like rip it and I would start it. I'm like, go out there and do your job. I do mine. Or I'd like feel the blade and I'm like, you're scraping the saw blade on the ground to get sparks. And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, then why is it sharp? It's not supposed to be sharp.
You can't get nothing past this woman.
Wow.
And so, but I loved it. And so when I was a maze supervisor, I had like a bag of candy that I would carry around with me when I was doing rounds to like see if everything was working. And if you managed to scare me, I would give you a piece of candy.
So that was their goal.
Yeah,
I will say the very first time, because I am a chicken, guys. I am a chicken. Now I know what it is when you go there, and I'm like, I'm not scared of you.
I'm brave chicken.
Brave chicken.
Yeah. I'll be scared, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's so much fun. But the very first time I went to Universal Horror Nights, we went really late. It was already so packed, and it was me and a couple girlfriends. And I walked in, and I was like, you could tell I was already like, oh my goodness, I was like so anxious and so nervous. Freaking chainsaw man saw me from like across the crowd. There was so many people, and he was like,
You were targeted.
"That's mine." And then chased me everywhere.
After a certain amount of time, because even like I could sniff out the people that were going to be a good scare, because I'd be standing on the side watching everything, making sure everything was running, and I would like eye someone and I'm like, they're going to go after that person, like, or like they should go after that person, and we can sniff it. It's such a specific
Silent
thing.
Hill, when there was the Silent Hill one years ago, I was freaked out. Freaking nurse with knife chased me outside the haunted house, down the alley. I was like, it's done. I was like, go away, it's done. And she was having a blast. I was like, go back, go do your job.
Go to your home. Go home.
Go back to your hovel. You're like, yes. Oh my gosh, I think you would slay.
I love haunts.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right,
well,
now I'm gonna do the thing that you guys.
yes.
Gentlemen.
Want an extra life? I think I would want thousands of acres in Montana.
Yes,
and just
me too.
be a rancher.
We've talked about that in our house
What
already.
would you ranch?
Yeah.
Like cattle
just
specifically?
being out.
Okay.
You know, whenever
some
I did grow
cattle
up
dogs?
when I grew up in Indiana, we had like a few horses and like a few
love
cows,
that.
but it
Yeah.
was like 30-40 acres, kind of a smaller. Now I
Yeah.
want this like I gotta go out for days, on my own land, that kind of thing, and just.
My daughter's like super into like figuring out if she's a city, a suburb, or a country girl.
Yeah.
And
my
she's-
gosh.
Courtney knows Aaliyah. And so
She's
like,
obviously a city girl.
but she loves country.
Has
she
she like
loves-
experienced
really?
it? Like,
Well, when my mom and dad live in Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
but on the like in the
Yeah, yeah.
outskirts of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's like their backyard's huge, and
Yeah.
like we'll drive and we'll see cows and horses, and she loves it. But I do think like she doesn't know like if she had to live
She's
there.
really a city girl. I know Aaliyah.
She wouldn't
She's a
go
city
for
girl.
very long.
No.
I don't know, but we had talked about getting a place in
needs
Montana.
her sushi delivery on standby, okay? She needs her, I know her.
Yes, I know.
She could not make the Stardew Valley switch.
No.
It's true. No, I think she's a little bit of both. A little bit. She could do it for a little bit.
She'll vacation, she'll glamp, you know?
I can't wait to show you. I call her Yaya. I can't wait to show you. Yeah, that's good. What about you, Brett? What about your one up?
I mean, based on what I learned here today, it sounds like I need to be a mime. It sounds like there's just so many doors that open for you.
It really
Possibility.
Get on Trejo's fandom and just.
Oh my God, we are so gonna we're tagging you, Danny Trejo. This was your
This is my
line.
direct call out. Hey, Danny Trejo, I messaged you years ago for that picture. If you still have the picture, Danny Trejo, this is a real request. Please send me the picture.
You might not recognize her.
I don't have white pancake makeup on, but it is me. You can trust me.
Wait, he might not understand your voice, so can you say that one more time, but in mime? Yeah, he'll understand that one.
Yeah, he'll be like, I know who that is.
That is my mime friend.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you guys
Thank
so
you
much
so
for coming.
much.
Thank you for
and hanging
having
with- This has
us,
been
yeah.
so much fun. I know I just feel so blessed and honored to be part of this game and to be part of it with Courtney, one of my best friends, and Jenny, one of my other great. It's like, it's like we get to do this for a living, and it's just such an honor. Thank you, Brett, for reaching out. Brett and Evan, you're the ones. Blade and Soul reached out to us to do this, and we are so grateful. And
Yeah.
more to come, guys. We have something planned in January with them.
Yay!
Thank you all for joining us. We adore all of you. We hope that you have learned so much.
Yes.
We did. I'm Jen.
And I'm Courtney.
And this has been another episode of everybody. Wait. Everybody, ready? One up.
I thought we were going to do the quick one.
Oh, sorry. It's gotta go. So we'll teach
gotta
you.
be
One up. There it is. Ready?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. One up.
There we go. That
Boom.
was clean. That was clean.
Until next time, friends.